Sakui Garbode, and welcome to Cassus Café. I am here today with Kli'nah
Hello.
and Tykoth. And we're going to be talking about the Bandits of Golak today, episode 7 of Vision Season 2. Alright, so to start off, Bandits of Golak, it's the Indian one, and unfortunately it's also in the style of Clone Wars. So I was already not very hype about this one.
Yeah, I can say, even though I'm not personally like the anime style fan, I think that this is actually my least favorite aesthetic, art wise.
Yeah.
I really like the short in general. I just am not. Yeah, I wasn't super in off the bat just with the art style. It's not my cup of tea. It looks a little kind of early Clone Warsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all in agreement.
Agreed.
All right,
Yeah.
It's
not the
pretty,
greatest first impression.
but yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to watch a whole series of that style.
Well, we did 8 seasons of one.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Seven
I didn't
seasons
watch
of
it
one.
though. I
No.
didn't.
Yeah, she didn't.
One of the reasons I didn't watch it was because I didn't like the art style.
I feel like we might be in the minority on that too, as far as Star Wars fans.
Yeah, we
Like,
definitely are.
I don't think a lot of people really have a huge problem with that. I'm just not crazy about it.
Yeah, and it didn't really help me much. The story, it was fine. We watched the behind the scenes of this one. It was neat to see how like they incorporated different Indian folklore designs in like the clothing and trying to mesh certain Indian cultural stuff in with the Star Wars designs, like the different clothing and colors that they used.
The jewelry that they have
yeah,
that they're wearing.
The jewelry, even the food and the animals that they used in there.
They said that the restaurant later on in the episode that's kind of referencing some type of restaurant style that they have
Like
over
an
in
Indian
India.
bar or
I
something.
forget what they called it.
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has the most potential of any of the episodes to incorporate a lot of, because Indian style, Indian visuals, they are so bright, so colorful, and I just feel like it has the most potential of most of these cultures to really integrate it visually into it, and I think it kind of does that.
I think this episode was very easy to see that it was from India. Like the first second that you hear that music, you're like, oh yeah, this is
The music is
Indian music.
cool.
And then you see their clothing and their jewelry and stuff. You can tell that it has the influence. And then even later, Anakin mentioned during the lightsaber battle that you see that they have some moves from like Bollywood type of dancing.
Yeah, I think overall they did it like they really well. It's just the style that holds it back, just for me personally. But
Yeah.
so like I said, is awesome. I love the music.
And then, you know what else holds me back? This stupid child again. And it makes me so mad that we have to have another episode that I hate because of the stupid children that don't know how to listen to the older
I think
adults in the room.
I think this is the first one, because you've had that complaint against probably 2 or 3 of them now, and this is the one that I would agree with you on that one. I did not think
This one is the most egregious in that aspect.
Yeah, she seems particularly not useful or competent, or it's just like very annoying kids. And I understand kids are annoying, like for sure. In real life, definitely very annoying.
Very, very oblivious. She seemed like her character design looked older than how she was acting, so that's what also kind of threw me off, thinking like, wow, this child is an idiot.
Well, it even mentions at the very beginning that they are leaving their home that was just burned to the ground, assumingly because they found out that she was a Jedi or Force user. And she's like, is Papa gonna be okay? Probably not. I'm guessing he's dead because the mob killed him because you were an idiot and decided to show everyone that you can use the Force. And I don't get why she doesn't get that.
Yeah.
Like, they've clearly told her not to use the Force. Like, something is wrong with her brain. Like, that's my conclusion. She's not with it.
I do like the train sequence in general, though. Just as, like, I mean, we've seen train sequences in Star Wars, I mean, more times than I can count. But I still like it. I still think it was, like, kind of fun to watch and get through.
Yeah.
She wasn't hyper involved in it either. Like, it was mostly the older brother. So that helped.
I guess. I just think her annoyingness was more prevalent in the first half during all that train stuff
Then the second half.
than the second half. I felt the episode picked up more during the second half with the lightsaber fight and the nighttime scenery, and I liked all that a little bit more.
Yeah.
She wasn't near as annoying.
Well, and the other characters brought into the second half that we'll get to are really cool, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so we can go ahead and talk about those.
Yeah. I mean, when they get to the lightsaber fight, or I mean, beforehand they get to that little market village at night, and they meet the old woman who, of course, is actually a Force user herself. Like, I thought she is the standout for sure. Like, she seems really cool.
I thought it was funny because before Visions ever came out, her little thing of breaking apart her cane into the two lightsabers was one of the promotional scenes that they let out, and so everyone on Twitter was, all the Star Wars peeps on Twitter were tearing that apart because she just like held her staff, and then the long part of the staff turned into the lightsaber blades, and that didn't make any sense. Like, if you look at it, it doesn't come out of it doesn't like emit out as she's breaking apart. It actually turns into the lightsaber blade.
Yeah, because the hilts aren't long enough to make one staff.
Yeah, that was weird. You'd think she would have some kind of cool lightsaber staff thing instead of breaking it apart into two, but no, they had to do that weird kind of animation thing to it.
It's not canon, so it's okay.
No, you're right. But I thought it was funny. I didn't care. People were tearing it apart on Twitter when I saw that, but I was just like, yeah, that's funny, but it's Visions. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. They did keep the basic. I'm surprised that the lightsaber is so similar on the Inquisitor type of guy. He's got that kind of twisting lightsaber. I'm surprised they didn't change up that at all.
Yeah, and this is the first time we see them incorporating stuff from video games. So they have the Purge Troopers from Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order next to him.
Yeah,
he looked cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
I like the look of him.
Yeah.
He's very menacing. His giant mustache, you know. I mean.
Also, from the behind the scenes, they were talking about him and his character design, and I think they said they based him off of some sort of Indian demon sort of thing from their mythology.
Probably some Hindu Brahmin, or some of those. Kind of,
That's really neat.
I could see that.
You
know what I do notice about the style when it gets to the fight is because so much of the dust kicks up and that's really dramatic. I feel like it does make the style a little better. When it's not so clear, I do feel like it helps quite a bit. So the style in that second half fight is much better than the first.
Yeah.
I always think, even when Clone Wars did it, I thought when kicked up debris and it wasn't as sharp of an image, it was softened in some way. I always thought it helped quite a bit.
Yeah, and I even really like the animation better in Bad Batch because they've just come from such a long way since Clone Wars, and the Bad Batch visuals are just so good, especially the wide shot setting shots. Really good stuff.
Especially the piano ship stuff too, or the planet. Yeah, it's great.
I'm still not a fan of that kind of character art design, but at least for the settings and stuff, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So similar thing here.
Yeah, and then I just am rewatching that fight scene, and after the dust goes away, after she kills him, spoiler. No, they went. It definitely looks a little bit worse. The water looks cool though when she opens that up and opens her little secret passage. I'm like, oh, that water looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is similar to early in one of the other episodes where someone has to go away to be trained to use the Force. But I think this one, I liked this ending a little bit better because I like the relationship between the boy and the girl because he doesn't really try to make her stay. He knows that she kind of needs to go and she's sad, but also I'm like, man, that's a big burden off the brother because now he doesn't have to worry about her incompetence anymore. That's someone else's job.
He's like, now I can finally date.
But the emotion that you see on the girl's face, she has this happy goodbye, but then she looks away hopefully, and then when she's walking down the stairs, you see that she's sad and she knows she's not going to see her brother, and I think that was done pretty well.
Yeah. There isn't a ton of separation in Star Wars because the Jedi obviously separate the kids from their families, which is, I don't know, debatable in ethics, but we don't really see that a whole lot. We have a comment in Kenobi and then in books and stuff, but we don't. This is like one of the first times we've seen it separated from their family.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be curious. Well, I assume this would take place like after the clone or after Order 66. I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
But before this, they would always train Jedi way earlier in age. They would take them when they were like much younger because they don't want them to have the attachment of their family to be something that will hold them back.
It's interesting how those rules get changed when you don't have any choices left, so good luck.
And you can see like the kind of emotion on the old woman's face when she's like telling them that she needs to go with her. I was trying to think of like what is this old woman thinking? Like, does she actually want to take her away? Is she like second guessing it? Like, I was thinking also of like how Qui-Gon and Kenobi were thinking about when they took Anakin away from his family.
Yeah, that's true. I guess except for we don't see it except for the one time that we do see it, and it's really, like, the most impactful moment of the series. So there's that.
Yeah.
It's even more expounded upon in the novelization too that I recently read.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a tangent, so we'll X-nay that for now.
Nice. He gets the little flute at the end, and it's a good little, nice, happy, scripty moment. Like, look, it was all full circle, and now.
Though, do you think she let it go, or do you think the Jedi person made her let it go because she can't have any attachments to her previous life, so that she doesn't have that?
It's probably that one, but at least in his mind, he's like, look, my sister loves me. And it's like, no, she's just.
No, she was forced to get rid of that token.
She doesn't care about you that much.
Oh my gosh. All right, so what do we guys think about rating this episode? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll be positive. It's okay. It's. I mean, they're all good. It's just it's art, so it's hard to rate. But like, it's not my personal cup of tea in many ways. Other than I like the Indian influences above all else. I'm gonna go like a 7.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I want to give it like a 6 because the storyline I'm just not a fan of. I really like the influences of the Indian culture that they mixed into it, but it doesn't make it hit. I don't know. It doesn't make it any better.
It's neat.
Yeah, it's neat, but the story could have been less irritating.
Yeah.
And make more sense.
My rating may be a bit of a spoiler for when we guess each other's least favorites and favorites, but mine, I'm gonna give it. I've been fluctuating between a 6 and a 4. So
How about a 5? Just give it in the middle.
I guess
that's a 2-point pivot. That's a pretty hard.
I'll probably meet in the middle and go 5 because I don't like doing point like half these or whatever. I just like whole numbers.
I mean, if you want whole numbers, we can just rate it out of 100, and then you can say it's
okay.
It's a 75.
Exactly.
It's a 6. No, I said 5. It's a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 7.25 for 7.9.
Yeah. It's a 5 out of 10 for me, dog. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
I am still happy it was made.
Stop having episodes with characters that don't listen to their parents and make stupid decisions that can get them killed.
That seems to be not that particular one. There's a few in this season that have that kind of plot point where it's a younger, annoying child with an older adult figure in their life.
But the older adult figures aren't always wiser than the young kid. They may be smarter, but not necessarily wiser.
Yeah.
It is interesting how all, essentially every single one, maybe outside of the first one, has been a sort of a older character with a younger kid is basically all of them. Interesting. First one was not, but
That's why I feel like no matter what they try and tell us, I think Lucasfilm did come at them with itineraries and things they had to involve in their stories, and then they can work around that.
And I don't think that's a bad thing either.
No, yeah, for sure.
I don't know why they would say the opposite if they were, because yeah, that's not a negative thing. Like, let's have them all be on theme, and I think it works to have them all have a similar sort of dualities to them. But this one just didn't have as strong of one as some of the others.
Yeah. All right, that'll be it for the Bandits of Golak. Thank you guys for joining us, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of the episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.